And look who has arrived. Howdy, howdy.
Howdy.
Good to see you again. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, no, wait. I saw you earlier today.
Yeah, we did.
We streamed on YouTube through YouTube. Oh, sorry. Hi. Hello, lovely people of the internet. There's 3 people watching. I should actually say hello. 'Tis I, LMNOP, here with the lovely Holy Spackle. Tonight we're going to be talking about
Howdy, y'all.
Open Hangout. Come hang out. Sorry. We were just hanging out on hers a little bit ago, chatting for a minute before. Yeah. Cause yeah, voter rights. Feel free to talk about voter rights if you want.
Hey, there's somebody in your chat I haven't talked to in a while, and that is Serb. Hey, Serb. Good to see you.
Yeah. He might have run off. There's only 3 people watching now. But if you guys are in contact with Serb, tell him to come back. He might circle back anyway. He knows how things go. So howdy, howdy. Any culty fun stuff happened to you this week?
So there's somebody on my Facebook that we're going back and forth quite a bit. And it's not culty really per se, but he's like one of those people that repeats these talking points. Like, how do you expect to pay for universal health care? And then I'm like, through taxes. And he's like, we already pay enough taxes. I said, I know. I think we should tax billionaires. I think we should tax corporations. and I think that, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. And I think that we should, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, the billionaires, yeah. But
billionaires. Tax the fuck out of them.
We have this the fattest military in the entire world, and we just added more billions to it. And I think we can reduce that. I think that's possible to reduce that and stop being world police. But yeah. So like those are my plans. And he's like, but the cost of goods is going to go up, which is the same argument where you go, well, let's raise minimum wage. And actually, I'm more for raising all wages and within the brackets they are. Not just minimum wage, because minimum wage could catch up to like somebody that's gone to school, and well, that wage is like frozen. That's a problem. So I'm for raising all wages to a livable, and then for the skill set to match the skill set. But anyway, their argument is, well, that's going to raise the price of goods.
Yeah. I mean, I get some of that. I get a lot of that. Are you familiar with how the UK's minimum wage system works?
No.
So it's a tiered system, and I've actually been saying this for like many, many years, before I even knew that was like the system that they have. But like I live in a farming state where when I was a kid, we had this thing called apprentice wages, where like I think we still have like server wages where you can get paid like as little as like $2.13 an hour if you're a fucking server. And that's, you have to like be able to like report that you're also getting tips or whatever.
Yeah, so they pass the burden of paying their employees to tips, which I don't agree with either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and I'm not saying that I'm in favor of that, to be clear. I'm just saying that in a similar vein to that, the state that I live in used to have what we called apprentice wages, which was where you could show that you were gaining some type of work experience in a field where like experience was important to it, right?
Yeah, like you have apprenticeships in plumber or yeah.
A plumber or that sort of thing. And so like when I was 16, I worked as an apprentice to a farrier, and like I think I got paid like $4 an hour.
So that's brutal. Yeah, that's ridiculously low. That's slave labor at that point. Like
Which
it's its own purpose.
but, okay, here's the thing though, is back in the early 2000s, $4 an hour actually was not bad for a kid. Now, my boss probably wouldn't have been able to afford to pay me minimum wage, right? So he got an extra hand. You know what I mean? It was like it was a trade-off for everybody. And he wasn't getting somebody who's experienced in that. He was literally just getting a teenager that was like muscle and no brains, right?
Hmm. No, they're asking for the link.
Oh, sorry. I had the other.
Didn't mean to destroy your train of thought, but I thought,
You're
oh,
fine. You're fine. And I am like this one is set for to go public. So yeah, I told you about. It should be. Yeah, you guys can have it public. It's fine. Doo-doo-doo. And can I pin it? I don't know if that'll pin it from here, but let me see. There we go. And yeah, you guys want to jump in? You are more than welcome.
intrude.
Don't be a dick. If you're a dick, I'll kick you. But besides that, you are more than welcome to come in and have opposing opinions.
Except about baby carrots.
I, you know what? I don't care about the baby carrots.
Sir will argue about baby carrots for 6 hours. It's happened. I was there.
I support baby carrots.
He says it's a waste, and I do agree with him. Actually, he did make me go, "Yep, they are a waste."
He's talking about like the actual product of baby carrots, or is he talking about small penises?
No, he's talking about actual product of baby carrots and how we cannibalize actual carrots to make baby carrots.
So we started out making baby carrots because it was like 50% of the carrots that got grown would like go to waste because they were ugly. And that's why we made baby carrots, was to use those carrots that would otherwise go to waste. I
I
don't
know
know if
now.
that's I think that that's a good use of them. If it's gone beyond that, where we're just like growing full-size carrots to like cut up into baby carrots, that's a little stupid. But also, I like the convenience of having them like already cut and peeled in like the little baggie, and I can just like reach in there and grab a handful of them because like
Yeah.
snacking convenience.
Like everybody puts them in those dishes, like where they have all these goodies to eat, and like,
The little
there's
sandwich.
ranch dressing and whatnot. Are we
Mhm.
horizontal or are we, oh, we're up and down. I was up and
We're
down
both.
earlier today. Oh, we're both. So if you click in and out of whatever you're looking at, you should be able to get another option.
If you go to just like youtube.com/savageminnow, there's 2 options, and the one with the mobile device in the title is the vertical one.
I see. Does it count each stream separate, or does it count it as one stream when it does the counter? That's interesting.
The counter on the side here where it has, like, the number of people watching, I think it is total.
Interesting. They've done all these little tweaks and stuff like that are kind of interesting.
GeoSam, I sent you a link to come in if you want.
If you would like a
My
link, please request it.
Yeah, come on in. Yeah,
Come
we
on,
did
knock
the
on my
vertical
door.
earlier today. So Mowdy pointed this out, and he's right, that on the replays, the vertical gets a ton of views, and I don't know why.
They do, and they come through like when I look at my algorithm for horizontal, it's usually pre-made videos. But if I look at my algorithm for up and down like this, like the TikTok view, they're all these random lives, and they're also not corporate. They're more regular people, and they're doing weird things. I mean, I got to tell you, some of these people that go live do really strange things. But I was like, nice to see like smaller creators, even though like I wasn't into it.
Yeah. It's it's interesting to me because I have, like, come across the YouTube lives that are the vertical lives. I don't I think it's just because I'm old. I don't like watching vertical.
Same, but I'm trying to adjust to it because it's the TikTokers that are like kind of messing it up.
GeoCam, get in here.
Geo
Maya's here for
Sam.
you.
She's here for you, baby.
I am old as far as the internet is concerned. I think that anybody who isn't a fetus is pretty much old as far as the internet is concerned.
That's true. Like you see these kids now and they're 2 years old and they're like controlling like their iPads and stuff like they're champs.
Yeah. So I figured this out quite a while back when I was still using Facebook, not a whole lot. But I realized that there were like older people on Facebook, but pretty much the rest of the internet basically assumed that everyone is like a 13-year-old boy.
Because we're all trolls? Like why?
Because you won't be that far off most of the time. I'm serious. It'll be like a 16-year-old girl. It'll be a 30-year-old man, maybe 25. You know what I mean? Like, if you just assume sometimes I'm being fucking younger. But seriously, if you get a comment that you're like, "What the fuck?" Stop for a second and be like, "Hey, is this maybe, just maybe, like a 13-year-old boy?"
I just tell people my channel is made for adults and I mark everything for adults.
Howdy, howdy.
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 Can you hear me? Testing.
Yeah.
Check,
Everything is for adults. Yes, we can hear you, GeoSam. My channel is for adults, but I also recognize the fact that there are going to be children who know how to like tick a little box that says I'm 13 or older and know how to do a little bit of math. You can say, "Hey," or not, and be like, "I know that people who were born in the 1900s are all adults."
So what you're telling me is not to go full Gen X on them.
Full
Probably
Gen.
not.
And I know that's
Probably
like
not.
blanketing jokes, like it's blanket jokes, right? Gen X mean meanies, but like yeah, like it's a joke.
Yeah, because you guys are mean sometimes.
We are meanies sometimes. Yeah.
You're evil, narcissistic
Monsters!
monsters.
Wait, I've heard that before. Where have I?
You monster, not the gumdrop button.
I do feel like that is another one of those things where if one person tells you that you're an evil, narcissistic monster, you can probably disregard it. If multiple people are telling you that you're an evil, narcissistic monster, maybe check. Do a little self-check.
Yeah, I think
like
yeah.
Evil narcissistic monster, Mao. Okay, that's an evil narcissistic monster.
Oh, me? Yeah, I am. Apparently.
No, Mao, M-A-O, Mao, or Pol Pot, evil monster, Pol Pot.
Yeah.
Caligula, evil monster. You? No.
No. Me too, apparently.
Also, Let's Farm was in AA.
Apparently, Let's Farm was in AA and quit because of the cultiness, which I believe it's okay. So I have thought about going back to meetings to like see if it is still as bad. But then I have this moral dilemma where I'm like, am I being mean that I'm like going back to like gather evidence against them, like go undercover kind of, you know what I mean? And not that I would lie, but I would probably like not say, "Hey, I think this is all a fucking cult and I think that you're all fucking stupid for being here." But like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, if you're like going in it as an investigative journalist kind of situation, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but also I feel like, yeah. I mean,
you're
I can
not
see
when
that.
you,
For if like an investigative journalist, I would like say, "Okay, yeah, I get it." But also, I am somebody who was in those rooms. Like that was part of my life for a long time. So is it sort of double cross. Not that I would like show you guys names or pictures or, you know what I mean? Like anything like that. But like, or that I would even tell you specific, because I wouldn't. I would still be respectful of the program. That's the other thing that's like, I don't know.
Well,
I
because
don't know.
it's
I've
real
thought about
people. You're being
Yeah.
respectful of the people.
Yeah.
My dogs want attention, but
What kind of doggy you have? Doggy break.
Let's farm. You can come in if you want.
I don't want them in the room because they're a pain in the neck.
What kind of dogs do you have?
They're both Malamute Alaskan Huskies. One's a smaller version and one's a full bred.
Are they Malamutes or Huskies or both?
One's a Husky and one's a mix Malamute and something else. He's a smaller statured dog. He's
okay.
But he looks like a. I have photos, but.
Oh, I love them.
I don't want
to. I know they're the most given up. Well, at least here in San Diego, Huskies are the most given up dog next to pit bulls. And it's because people go, oh my gosh, this dog's so vocal. Oh my gosh, this dog requires exercise. And they just ditch them. And it's really sad. And there's these perfectly wonderful dogs that need a home, but like they just need the right home. And so it's just kind of sad. My dog is part Husky, but she's a Husky pit bull mix. Pit bull! Ah! And she's really she's got the energy level of a pit bull, which is I like to sleep on the couch and I'm a hippo. Couch hippo is what we call them. She's a couch hippo pretty much, and she barely runs. Here. But she gives Wookiee noises. You know how Huskies talk back? She does. She talks back.
Very vocal. Very vocal.
I'll tell her something.
They're out in the hallway. I don't know if you can hear them, but they were just making noises. But anyway.
Yeah. She doesn't howl though. She doesn't do a woo, so like it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, these guys make all the noises. It sounds like that guy. It's like, what the heck?
Halcyon, I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
Halcyon.
Velvet hippos.
They're good dogs. The one dog is blind. He has no eyes.
No bad.
Oh, they removed his eyes?
He had some disease and his eyes had to be removed.
Oh, poor babe. Dogs do really well blind, though. My Boston Terrier is blind, and he does so well anyway because of the smell.
So that's interesting thing about dogs. Like the part of our brain that we use to like navigate is like connected to our eyesight. That's like basically we navigate with our eyes as humans. Dogs, it is more connected to their olfactory glands. So dogs literally navigate with their nose.
Well, I joke, and when Sally's like on a walk and she wants to sniff, I'm a believer. Let dogs be dogs. So there's like a walk where we have to get through it real fast, and there's walks where I walk for the dog's enjoyment. And she likes to smell everything, and I always call it like scrolling through social media, but for dogs.
Yeah. Basically, that's they're smelling what other dogs are in the area, what other.
Yeah, we let them make all the noise. Huh?
Okay, so here, continuing with the question from before, do I go back to the meetings that I went to before?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Okay, so maybe like online meetings, because that's I think you're exactly right. It's about the human.
I would go to places where you haven't gone to meetings. Maybe
I've never been to the online meetings, and they didn't exist when I was in the program.
Right. So you have online meetings you're talking about? That's what you're talking about?
Well, I was thinking about checking some of them out because I've heard that there are ones now, and I heard about John, who is I can't remember his channel name, but we reacted to his video before.
John.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy
in NA.
The videos you played, right? The video. Yeah. I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them.
One of the ones that I played. Yeah, or we played him twice. He said that he went when he like kind of went off the rails a little bit. He would spend hours and hours a day in like Zoom meetings, like just going to like 12-step meetings on Zoom, because he could.
Yeah.
And I'd never like thought, because here we're pretty much limited to, there's like 3 maybe a day that you can go to. There's a lot of them that you can go to, but besides maybe like there's a few days with like 4 or 5, you're not going to be able to hit more than 3 meetings a day, and it's going to be spaced out, and you're going to have to like go from one place to another and evaluate your life. Whereas with Zoom meetings, you can just, oh, what's the next one on the roster? Click next, click next.
Well, the whole anonymity thing might throw a monkey wrench like afterwards if people find out, oh, you were there and you were taking notes and you were blah, 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 blah. You know, they might see it as an invasion. As an invasion, right?
Well, that would be another reason then to use Zoom and just use, stay off camera.
It is a cult, you know. I mean, I think it is.
It is.
So if you go in there with an intent, like the intent to be an investigator and figure out what's going on, that might not go over big if they find out later.
I'm not going to do that. I don't know that they would find out later, I guess is kind of what I'm kind of at the point, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, that's the risk you take, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what's part of being an investigative journalist. You have to take those risks to get out the news, to get the scoop, right?
I feel like that's,
because you can't walk in there and announce all your intentions to everyone. They tell you to leave.
Well, and I'm also not going to be disrespectful to them as people. You know, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys names.
But maybe you think if you went in there and said, listen, I'm here to just do a little survey or a little just account of what's going on here. I don't think they would.
I don't think in a closed meeting now.
I don't think they would want you there to do that. So you have to go undercover.
Yeah.
But if you just go to a place you've never been before, then who cares? Then no one knows you're undercover. Then you could just do whatever you want to do. Right?
They might let me in if I was like, hey, I represent so-and-so's church and we wanted to take a look and see, how this works. Maybe, but I don't think so either.
Yeah, like if you
it
just
depends on if it's an open meeting or a closed meeting.
Yeah, I guess that counts too, right? You got to consider that. I mean, I don't know.
So all right, neither of you guys have been in the room, so sorry.
I've never been, so I don't know how it works.
So there's 2 types of meetings. In most cases, there's open meetings and closed meetings. Open meetings is anybody can come to a meeting. Anybody's welcome, literally Joe Schmo off the street. Closed meetings is just people who have at least taken the first step. So that you identify yourself as an alcoholic and you have like dedicated, you said, okay, this is something that I want to do is work with this stuff.
Right. But it's rare that you're going to see outsiders walking into those situations, right? Where it's closed meeting.
So typically, if we see a lot of the meetings that I did go to were closed meetings, mostly just because it's a little bit more of a guarantee of anonymity. You literally don't just have Joe Schmo coming in off the street. Typically, when we do see a new face in a closed meeting, there'll be somebody at the start that's like, hey, anybody who's is your first time here, or if you're, a new face here, please introduce yourself. And then we all wait for them to introduce themselves because we all know who they're talking about.
And then there's 20 people you have to sit through, right?
But you do that? Like if I walked in a public room, they would go, oh, look, there's a newbie. They would know it?
Yeah. So if you walked in the meeting that I went to, the meeting that I used to go to, most of them, but I'm thinking of one in particular. Yes. There would be, and there was kind of like a minute at the beginning when they were going through like announcements where they would kind of look around and they go, okay, yeah, I know all these people. I can skip this part. But if they saw you or anybody else that they did not recognize and did not like basically know them by name, they would say, and any newcomers to this group, please feel free to introduce yourself now.
Oh, they do. Okay. So they do a spiel at the beginning, right? They do a.
And then if you didn't stand up and say, hi, I'm Geo Sam, I'm an alcoholic or an addict or whatever, then somebody would quietly go over to you and say, "Hey, this is a closed meeting. This is only for alcoholics."
Oh, I see. There's a
and
little pressure to not be anonymous once you're in there.
basically, yeah, like we,
So much for
yeah.
anonymity.
Well, so we do give names, yeah, but the idea of the
I'm only kidding.
anonymity is that what happens in the rooms,
Stays.
it stays there.
Yeah, I get the idea. I was just making a silly joke.
But yeah,
I know you're being serious.
We stand up and say, "Hey, my name's Ella. I'm an alcoholic," like every single time, and we do it. The annoying thing is, we do it every time we speak. So when we have like the chapter meetings and stuff where we're just having like back and forth like chat about, oh, I think we should use the donations for this kind of poster as opposed to this poster, and I think this one's more legible than blah 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 blah. Every time that people are talking there, hey, my name's Ella, my name's Ella, I'm alcoholic, and just
Really?
like they'll
Oh,
say
it's
it
so
every single fucking
reaffirming.
time, every single fucking time. Hey, like it's my turn to speak. Hey, my name's Ella, I'm an alcoholic. Blah 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 blah, with whatever it is that I'm saying. Thank you.
Every time you say I'm an alcoholic, you are affirm, like you're it's like solidifying it. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. And like that's not your only identity.
But in the group it is.
That's like repetition.
Yes.
Right? It's like,
yep.
It's like the way that they make us chant jails, institutions, and death at the beginning of the meeting, and a lot of times at the end of the meeting too.
Like that, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy.
Same thing. Yep. It just
the rosary over and over and over again.
It's brainwashing, is what it is.
That can get you. That can get to you.
You don't have to say your name. You're absolutely correct, Halsey. You can say, "My name is Cornelius. My name."
I like that name, Cornelius. That's a good one.
Cornelius.
My name is Cornelius. Yeah.
But I thought it's changed from what it used to be just rooms, that what I heard of, just places people could go, right?
We still call it the rooms.
You do? That's what I heard.
Yes, we call it the rooms.
And
the idea is that it is this place that if you are an alcoholic seeking help, you can come to these rooms. And yes, that is true under certain circumstances. Sorry.
And I was in the park one day and I found some books on a bench. One of them was Bill Wilson's story and the other one was a little blue book.
A little blue book?
Yeah. And I read both of them and I was like, oh, wow, this is AA stuff. But I didn't realize what I was reading at the time. Yeah, it was one of those.
I think it's cute.
Needless to say, I didn't hold on to them. So
I held on to lots of them.
I read them though. I read Bill Wilson's story. I don't remember much of it, but
which one did you read?
Look at all the literature you have.
What's that? This
is all AA and A. This is all, yeah.
The book
wait, not this one, sorry.
I forget the title of the Bill Wilson book. I forget what they called it.
Was it Pass It On or As Bill Sees It?
I don't even remember.
This
it's so long ago.
General Conference approved literature right here.
All I used to read was books. Like so many books.
So this is Pass It On is like more about like the message, but it's all very like in that like Bill Wilson-esque.
I remember the cover was kind of like a light blue color. I don't know if you have a book about Bill, but that's just, I could even be mistaken about that. So I don't know. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure they change that stuff up every so often.
Oh yeah. But it had his name on the front cover. I remember that. It could be a different edition or I don't know.
It's probably Pass It On because it's the Bill Wilson and the AA message is usually what it says on the front cover. I just don't have the original cover.
Hey, real quick, Halcyon, are you the same Halcyon that's Exile's buddy and the one I'm following on TikTok?
Probably.
I think so. I just don't remember the last part of your name being attached. Anyway,
that's always been Halsey's name. Halcyonic Collugia.
Yeah, maybe my brain just sort of filled it in. There's another one with a similar name if it's not him.
To her.
Or her. Them.
Anyway, that's funny how I came upon those books. I guess somebody who was at AA left them on the bench.
So do you think that they left them there intentionally, or do you think that they left them there by accident?
You know, I only thought about it years later, and I didn't think it was. I just thought, oh, look, some books. Someone left their books. I didn't really think about it, you know.
So I do remember, like, strategically leaving pamphlets in places. We did that kind of shit.
Well, it was obvious someone left the
But-
books there. It was, you know, obviously I found
But
them.
I don't know if I would have left, because, like, well, okay, so this one, for instance, this one was a gift. Someone gave me this book. Someone who
What's
was like,
that?
hey, I haven't seen you. And this is the visual history of Alcoholics Anonymous. I make the joke.
A visual
that-
history?
Yeah, so it's like a
Wow.
bunch of pictures and stuff. I make the joke
I
that
want to
it
get
was
to the institutions, jail, and death part of the drawings.
but
Yeah.
I joke that this one is like the Pass It On, which is a lot of like history and stuff. If people are like too lazy to actually read this one, they get this one. And it's just
I dropped something.
it's just a quick bit. You could flip through the pictures of it and get a. Wait, I
I
just
didn't-
saw there's a big book on tape. Okay.
I didn't
You
know
know,
they had picture books.
We have picture books now. There's even fucking picture books.
Yeah. Yeah, there are alcoholics who are dyslexic or visually impaired, and yeah, that makes sense to have an
I
audio.
do appreciate that they are doing that now, except for the fact that they're a cult, and I don't think that people should probably really go to those. You get what I'm saying? It's like, thank you for being inclusive of, you know, because they haven't been for a long time. A lot of their literature is like very like flowery language and like hard for people to read. Like I remember so many times just like sitting through meetings and being like, oh my God, why did they choose him to fucking do this shit? They should have fucking known better.
I think Let's Farm makes a good point with his recent post.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes, I do think that like in a lot of cases they got people started, but I think that like all of those pieces that were there that got you started, and for the people who are like AA saved my life, all of those pieces that like helped you along the way, they could absolutely be put together in like a better recipe that doesn't give you the farts and tastes better. Is more filling. It has better macros. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all of AA is bad. I'm just saying that like some of it is shit. Some of it's really bad.
Well, he left because of the cultiness.
Yeah.
And that's testimony enough for me.
Some groups were definitely more overtly Christian than others that might be more vague and new agey about it. Yeah, I agree with that. And I noticed that in particular here in the area that I live in, there's now become this like very big divide. And I've almost like not been warned about it, but like been told about it. It's like, hey, just so that you know, these people who are more or less kind of one cohesive group that were like on two sides of one cohesive group are now two very separate groups, and like people from these home groups don't go to meetings at these home groups kind of thing. And it's like, holy shit. That's how, like, because politics has gotten more potent in the past few years.
It is wild politics. I don't remember growing up this polarized. I don't. People hated Bill Clinton, but I don't remember the hate level like being like, I don't know. And then Obama came in, and then it was like the heat is on. People were mad about Obama. The people were calling him not a citizen, that he wasn't actually born here, that he's really from Kenya, that he's really a Muslim. I mean, I remember it just started going wild from there on.
Yeah. It's been so polarized. I feel like it did kind of start with Bushy. And people got really kind of
With
angry about Bushy, and then there was like the Obama was kind of like the backlash to Bushy.
well,
And
Bush and Gore had the hanging chads, remember?
mhm.
Yeah.
And I was from
Yeah.
Missouri, and this is a thing that like we talked about this the other night, that I have had people like tell me, we're talking about one particular person who got really angry at me, that I felt like I kind of wasted my vote. When I was 18, I voted for Nader. It was my very first presidential election, and I voted for Nader. And I lived in a purple state that had been a bell ringer state up until then. That year went for Bush. And had my state gone for Gore, we wouldn't have had to even worry about Florida.
Yeah. You know, sometimes like it sucks that we have to be forced in like the two-party thing, but if you do vote third party, it is really going to throw it away.
And that's afterwards I felt like, man, and the other thing was that the margin of people, because Nader got a shit ton of votes that year. And if all of us would have showed up and voted for Gore instead, Gore would have fucking won the state. And he would have won the election.
Well,
and
I mean, if it makes you feel any better,
small group of us that literally would have had enough impact to change
that
the
was
election.
that was your first election, though. That was my first. The number Bush
I'm banging
number
on the
one was my
microphone, please.
first.
I don't know who's banging on the microphone, but it needs to stop.
Oh, sorry. That was me.
Oh, okay. I was just saying that. So mistakes have been made. I was raised to be a raging conservative, and I was a little baby Ben Shapiro spouting off the same shit, and like my world got open slowly, one at a time. But I got to tell you, like at 18 years old, I did vote for Bush, and I regretted it later on. And then the next time I voted for a president was Obama.
Well, my first president was Reagan that I voted for. I was in the service when I voted for him, and he gave me a raise. So I voted for him again, and then he gave me another raise.
I know several people who voted for Reagan. Like, I get it. I switched this around because the comments come in up top and spackle on. Yeah. So
that's fine.
Sorry. Just want to be clear about the switching around. But yeah. I get it. I know a lot of people who voted for Reagan who like fucking regret that shit, you know? That was a lesson for me in my very first election. That was like, oh shit, you need to think about more than like, this is my vote and my personal conscience, and like what are going to be the ramifications of that.
Well, I was part of the machine at the time. So I voted in my best interest, which was to vote for Reagan because he was going to up my pay.
Yeah.
That's a shitty way to vote, but
it's a selfish way to vote. But you were young.
I was in the military.
Yeah.
What do you expect me to vote for?
Well, and I see this all the time. Again,
it was a different time too. Let me tell you that.
Well, I see it in our local elections a lot as well. That it's like people will vote against paying more money for their schools, even though they recognize like, hey, our schools are shit and our children are our future. Yeah, like, no, I don't want to pay more for schools.
Well, then
God forbid I let the kids have like decent facilities to learn in.
Yeah, well, then they're part of the problem if they don't want to dish out for the kids. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
is that oversimplifying it? Oversimple.
Conservatives and libertarians, which I always joke and say are failed Republicans, conservatives and libertarians both have a severe case of individualism. And individualism is fine. I like individual things, but like some collectivism is okay. like
some collectivism is necessary. Okay. I'm sorry, but all y'all who fucking homeschool your kids. Okay. There is a certain percentage of you who homeschool your kids who do a great fucking job of it. And I can't tell you what that percentage is, but like there are, and I can't say you know who you are, because unfortunately you don't know who you are. But like there's a certain percentage of people who are like either college educated, or they like hire tutors that are college educated, that like have like a curriculum that they have like set, that is like a standardized curriculum that is not like religious based or shit like that, right? Who like actually do homeschooling well. And Spackle and I have talked about, like, my best friend growing up was homeschooled, and homeschooled by parents with college degrees, and homeschooled well, and got a fucking better education than me in the public school, right?
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
ways that it is done right, but the majority of the time, when it's this shitty, terrible, non-science science
Yeah.
curriculum, where these kids are like unschooling, where it's like, oh, the kid just guides us to like whatever he wants to learn about. Like, no, it doesn't fucking work. And like, you are robbing your child of their future. Okay, I get it. It's America, and it is scary to send your child to school when like the number one way that kids die in America is by getting shot by a fucking classmate, right? Like, that's
In
fucking
school.
scary to send them into a building where it's like, hey, you have a higher risk of dying here than any other fucking building, right?
Well, you know what's funny? I have a friend. This is a childhood friend. He's still a friend today, but his mother, he was a single mother, single household, you know, single mom. She was a teacher, and instead of in public school, instead of sending him to public school, they homeschool. She homeschooled, and she was
Okay.
a public school teacher.
She has a teaching degree. She is capable of teaching him from home and giving him a quality education at home. I get it.
She taught
get
him,
it.
and she hired other people to come in that weren't part of the public school system to teach. And the guy's she's smarty pants. That's all I got to say.
That's
Okay, can I chime in as a homeschool kid?
Yes, please.
Please do.
So, in the time that I was homeschooled, it was the 80s and 90s. But anyway,
It was the 90s.
Homeschooling has improved in a lot of ways. So like a lot of homeschoolers have like a homeschool charter where they meet together. So it's a little more like a charter school. And usually they actually teach real science in those. But individual family homeschools are still largely problematic. And it's debatable about a lot of the curriculum. And it's not just the sciences. We see the sciences where they will teach creationism, things like that, but also very anti-psychology, anti-sociology, like different views on history, where American history is even more whitewashed than it is in our public schools. And an example is like, for me, my history book got redacted. I got to learn about Martin Luther King, but they didn't want me to learn about Malcolm X. He was completely redacted.
Oh, they've removed that from the public school curriculum around that time too. Me and my brothers also did not learn about Malcolm X at all in public school. Like, I was in college before somebody was like, Malcolm X, and I was like, who, what?
Yeah. Yeah, like just completely redacted. In fact, it was in the book, just redacted.
That's funny. See, ours wasn't even in there. Now, ours was, and this is bad. Okay. I think I've told you about our history books before, that they had on the same page as, like, they were talking about the slave trade, like, from Africa. It was literally like on the same page as, they basically in the same breath. They never said that they were like purchased or like considered property. They were just like moved here in the same breath as like other immigrants that came from like I think it was like Asia and Irish immigrants, and like it was just like, oh yeah, like some people weren't treated very well when they got here. And that was it. Like that, like, we're not gonna like discuss that like these people were literally considered property.
Yeah.
We just like went on. They were treated basically as immigrants.
I was
And
taught
I do
they
think that
were
it used the
slaves
word
for
immigrant.
sure. But it was watered down slavery. It was like some slaves got beaten, but like some slaves were the song of the South, zippity doo dah.
I just remembered the exact wording that they used. They used the wording involuntary immigrants. And it referred to like literal like people who were slaves, chattel slaves,
Oh, that's
and like people
unbelievable.
who are, yeah.
So that I never had it that far. Like I said, like it was more like some people were beating their slaves, and that's
Okay.
terrible. But also some slaves were happy to be there, like Song of the South, zippity doo dah, my oh my, what a wonderful day. Like everything's
Uncle Tom's
fine.
Cabin shit.
We
Yeah.
just love our slave masters. They're the coolest. Like no. Like and then you actually get out and you see a more unredacted information and you're like, holy shit, this is awful. You look at the slave ships and it's like just the ships alone are just so horrific. And it's just like nauseating. But like I feel like we're going back to this 1950s zippity doo dah version of history, and it's just not good. I will say this, lettuce farm, I have always been behind in math because I'm dyscalculate, and also I had a parent that hated math, so like that didn't help anything. But I was ahead in English and I was ahead in reading. I was well more read than almost everybody I knew. And then history, with the exception of key redactions like we were talking about, but history just in general I was really well at, and social studies always interest me as well. So that kind of stuff I was more, I would say I was a lopsided student, and you'll see that a lot with a lot of homeschoolers and a lot of missionary kids that were homeschooled, so to speak, like where
The
they
thing that
are
they were into is
good
they're
readers,
really,
but not necessarily good math, or one or the other. Yeah.
I will say that for the most part, it does seem like homeschool kids are better readers than the currently graduating public school kids, which is
My
like
my
really,
my
really
mom
sad.
is a very good
But
reader, like tons of books, like libraries, like in their house they have a library pretty much. Yeah.
I would also say, what's up? I do think that that is also in part because, like, that is how they're getting information, that you're not sitting there with, like, a bunch of other kids where you're, like, gossiping about shit. Like, if there's any drama in your life, it's because you're, like, reading a book or whatever, you know? Like,
Yeah. So the plus side about being homeschooled is I was never bullied at school. I never had the experience of being bullied at school, and I'm sure I would have been bullied at school. And I was bullied at church. I could have some church bully stories from middle school that are pretty horrific. But when
so
I
you
got
didn't
into high
escape the
school, I
bullying.
wasn't bullied anymore, and in church, because I had to adjust some of my behaviors. But I will say that
The
I know, right?
conservatives would say that means it's good for you.
Yeah, right. You got bullied. You got thrown in the trash can. Good.
That's well, you learn to adjust your behaviors. That's what it's for.
So it's
That's why we
just
tell fat people they're fat. Sorry. Go on.
oh, gosh. So there, that's an experience that a lot of people had that I got to bypass, but it also made me very naive. Even still to this day, I'm always shocked when I'm betrayed. I'm always shocked when mean girls are mean girls. I'm like, why are you mean?
Yeah. That's so I went to school, public school, and I still, being autistic, was just like, "Why are you mean?"
Yeah, I don't know. Some people say I'm autistic, but I think I just was homeschooled. But like either way, why are you mean?
But yeah, I like now that I'm older and I've taken like enough psych classes and I've like studied people enough that like, yeah, okay, I'm 40 now. I don't go, "Why are you mean?" I go, why are you mean?" Right? But for a long time, it was just like, "Why? Why do you act like this, people?" Back
I had a like experience. My experience in public school was I wasn't getting taught. I felt like I was being dropped off to be watched for the day.
And
And
that
There's
is, unfortunately, our public school system is built on the common school system, which was just, we're going to watch your kids during the day and we're going to teach them some basic skills that are going to help them in to be good little workers.
yeah,
And you don't need them to be sharp, bright little intellectuals because like that's just going to get them in trouble. If you want to do that, like get them a tutor, right? Like that's not. And that is what our school system is built on, unfortunately. And it's
The
our
other
time to
thing
reap.
that like I wanted to point out with homeschooling is kind of interesting is that you bypass the bullying, yes, but also here's a positive with homeschooling. There is so much wasted time in public school. Super duper wasted time constantly. And like here's the thing. This is what I'm really anti about with public school. You're gonna think I'm mad because you probably went through public school and you had the experience. We went to public school and you did homework. I think the work should be in the school and you shouldn't have to bring it home.
I concur with that. A lot of it.
That's what a
Because
homeschooler does. They do the work there. They don't have to go to school and then do the work at home.
yeah. So I agree. I don't think, especially for kids, like you shouldn't have, because we shouldn't do that as adults. We do, but it is teaching them, right? As an adult, oh, when I am a manager at this and I don't have time at work within my 8 hours to finish payroll, I should just take it home and finish payroll on my own time. And then it doesn't cost work as much, right? That's what we're teaching them, and it's wrong.
Do you think it's fallout from Protestant work ethic?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I didn't even.
I mean, you brought it up, not me, but yeah, absolutely.
That wasn't even an angle that I was considering.
Oh, it's at the forefront of my brain because like I've talked about this with a lady friend of mine that's a sociologist, but also I just had watched this week Mark Driscoll, who's a very popular pastor who's a complete asshole and misogynist, go on and on about Protestant work ethic and how we need to bring it back and people need to work 60 hours instead of 40 and we need to not have Saturdays off, only Sundays.
Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude.
He's just so stupid. Now, mind you, he's a pastor, so even though he looks like he's like kind of thick and like he plays like the macho man, he's got a soft hands job. Try flooring.
That's the other thing that I'm thinking is like, how many
Flooring?
hours does he put in? How many hours does he put in a week as a pastor?
Yeah,
And what
I
is he
picked
considering his
flooring because it destroys
billable
your knees.
Yeah, well,
housekeeping
yeah, can do that.
destroys your back, right? Like,
Yeah, your back and your knees. Like they're like there's so
Even
many jobs that are blue
welding.
collar jobs that do hurt your body.
I mean, I didn't spend that long welding, but like I literally like I have like the asbestos fingers, right? From 4 or 5 years welding. Just yeah, like that's not, we don't, like 40 hours should be the maximum. There's a reason why when you get over 40 hours, you start getting fucking overtime.
Like these
Ridiculous.
people are proud that they don't take vacations. And I'm looking at Europeans going, their life is happier and they don't have school shootings. Why is that?
Look at South America. They take fucking siesta every day. Like,
I don't know that they have access to guns, but not like we do.
they don't need them. That's
I don't know. My father's from Norway, and he had guns that he brought from Norway, and I'm like, he has guns. I never thought about it really. He was a hunter. I'd never hunted.
I think Let's Farm wants the link.
oh, is it not on the thing anymore?
Is it pinned or something? I can't see because of
It
the.
was.
It's still pinned, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah,
it's pinned somehow.
it's still
On
up there.
if you're on horizontal.
But
Oh,
if you would like, I can throw it in on Maudi's server. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, if you can't find it in the pinned link.
Just trying to think
It's
what
not
shared
in.
server we're
You
in.
put it in the chat in the vertical, not in the horizontal.
Oh, I did it backwards. My apologies.
It was in the chat because you put it in
Oh,
the
that
vertical.
explains it then. So like the vertical folks are seeing it, but not okay.
Yeah, the
My
link is
apologies. I must
link
have done
is
it exactly
definitely
backwards.
I picked it up from the vertical. So
Okay. My apologies. Let me fix that now.
I sometimes can't distinguish the two, but when I went to your homepage, there's two links. You could see them there, and then you
Yes.
can pick which one you want.
Oh, it's saved there.
You don't see it? I don't see it in the.
I see it there.
Oh, you do? Oh,
And
I
then
see
now
it.
if I go to the vertical, it's not pinned in the vertical. I'll go and pin it there.
Oh,
He's
maybe
here
I'm
though.
wrong. I don't
He's
know.
here though. It was in both places, but it was only pinned in the horizontal. And Let's Farm is here. And it looks like it's actually him backstage. And I will add you in. All right.
Good evening, everyone.
What's up? Yeah, so to be clear, I don't know if you caught the part where I was saying there are some good homeschool family, like good homeschool families. I grew up, my best friend was homeschooled, got a better education than I did in the public school, and both my parents worked for the public school district that I went to. But I think that the majority of homeschoolers in today's America are not doing a quality job. They're doing their children a disservice.
It depends, right? Like I didn't
But I'm
grow
not
up
saying
with
that you are in that case.
habits. Well, I did have an altered worldview presented to me, right? Like very, creationist and stuff. I still had a better grasp on like world history than most people I knew. Like and
Probably.
like I read a lot more classical books, and I don't know, like it's weird. But there was like it was like I was like for a while ahead of, I would say, like when I was in middle school, I would say that I was like at a junior level in some things. And then I would be behind. So I'd be in middle school, and in math I would be behind like 6th grade when I'm an 8th grader. And so like I was zooming ahead on some things, the things that I was interested in, and then the things that I didn't have proper support for or wasn't interested in, I was doing poorly, which you do see in public school too. But if you have a parent that is not good at math, teaching you math, that is a problem. And then to find out like you're dyscalculate, but you didn't find out you were dyscalculate until you went to community college. Surprise,
There's more of a
surprise.
safety
Well,
net. That's
yeah.
the thing. Like my friend grew up with a speech impediment, and that never got caught by anybody to like put them in speech classes. Right. Now, not that it wasn't like it was something that they were able to fix as a young adult. Like it wasn't, but like, yeah, for most of like their elementary school, grew up with a speech impediment. I don't think that would have been the case necessarily in a public school. They would have got put in speech classes or something like that.
When we were homeschooling our son, my wife and I, we made a decision early on. I'm better at math than she is, and she is way better at grammar than I am. And we would teach those classes, but the other ones we'd alternate. Art, history, all of that. It was great. I actually learned things homeschooling my son.
Yeah, and I think that that's great. Like the parents that look at it like that, the parents that have a quality education already and are looking to enhance that further, like absolutely. Like, but if you are somebody who maybe you grew up with, like you barely got your GED, right? And you're like, oh, I don't want to put my kids through like the hell of going through school. You're doing your kids a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some technology or something now that like your kids actually really enjoy school more than you did, even if they have the same disability that you did, or that sort of thing. Because I think a lot of times it's people who are like, oh well, my kid has like this disability, and therefore, and it's the same disability I had, so I know how to homeschool my kid better than the school knows how to school my kid.
By the way, can I compliment you on your banner that is scrolling across the bottom?
Well, thank you.
I really do like that, and I'd be happy to say that it took me 2 tries to get it right.
It does.
It took
does
2
say
tries.
Keep trying. Yeah. If you're watching from home and you fell off the bandwagon, like it's okay to keep trying.
And just remember, all you got to do,
try.
all you got to do is don't drink today. It's that easy. Just today.
Just right now. It doesn't
Yeah,
even have to be all of today.
Right.
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 It can just be just right
By
now.
the way, right. Whoops. Let me get in the camera. Right there in Roman numerals is my sobriety date tattooed on my hand, so I
Nice.
never forget.
I know
Wow.
what mine is, and it's like I don't. It's like I don't want to say it because I don't want to be like disrespectful to the program, and that like I have had alcohol and I have had marijuana since. I haven't done anything else really besides that. I'm trying to think if I've had anything.
Well, I remember my separation date from the service.
But
Me
yeah,
too.
it's like,
Me too, Sam.
and it was a day that was a life-changing day for me. It really was, you know. And as I've said, I don't think that everything to do with the 12 steps is bad. I just think that a lot of the ingredients that are in the 12 steps would work better in a different recipe.
I don't think everything in church is bad. I just think that there's some things that need to be done separately.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
My only problem with the whole AA thing was that when I stopped going to meetings, the only time that the people that went to the meetings would ever talk to me again would be if I passed them on the street. They'd be like, "Hey, I haven't seen you at a meeting lately." There was nothing else they ever had to say to me, ever. Like, "Hey, how you been? What's up? How's the family?"
Yeah.
And
Just
like
the
the same
guilt.
people who would be there to help you move help you move in a pinch, or you would be there to help them move in a pinch. Now you're a social pariah to them.
Mm-hmm.
And all you did was stop going to meetings.
Well, I had a better reason not to drink. My wife and I, strangely and coincidentally, have the exact same sobriety date.
Wild. So yeah,
Wow.
keep it because you want to keep it.
So here's the thing. She's not winning this.
I
And neither am I from her point of view. Neither one
like
of
it.
Yeah. I'm not winning. She's not winning.
I like it. It just like gives you an extra layer to your. I like it. That's so good. And also to be clear, when I talk about like that there are methods of people like who are able to heal from their alcoholism and become casual drinkers, I'm not saying that like that's something that I recommend for everybody. If you are saying, you know what, this is a problem and I really think I should be sober for the rest of my life, I absolutely support that. And I do think that is the safest case for a lot of people.
I'm not even afraid to tell you what my rock bottom was.
What was that?
I woke up in jail with absolutely zero idea of what I did to get there.
At least I knew what I did to get there.
Nope. I was in a total blackout.
And did you remember after, like,
when I started reading my charges that were laying there in the cell with me, I was like, oh shit.
Did it start? Yeah. That's damn.
Wow.
I can't imagine.
I've never
One of
had
the silliest charge in there. There were some serious ones, terroristic threats, driving without a license, but the funniest one was scattering rubbish.
Scattering rubbish.
Yeah, they added that in. I threw a bag of garbage because I was mad and drunk, apparently.
I mean,
that's what the cops do. They always like try to uptick their charges so that way you'll do a plea deal.
That was a $300 fine.
Ooh.
For throwing a garbage bag. I was like, I'll pick it up.
makes me think of Alex.
I have a cousin who was in AA, and he would go up and say his full name.
People would sometimes do that. We just said first names, and we would like kind of like correct people. We'd be like, "Hey, we just say first names here." Just like FYI. But there are groups that do that.
Well, the way I found out about this was because I was selling miniatures back in the day. I used to paint miniatures for D&D, and I was selling a bunch of them. And I showed them to my cousin. I says, "You're interested in these?" He had a shop, a tattoo shop, where he sold stuff like this. So he said, "Yeah." So I gave him a whole bunch. And then he said he had these friends that wanted to see them, that were interested in buying them, to come to this place to meet them. And it just happened to be with the rooms. And I didn't know where I was going. I went, and there was all these people there, and the meeting started. And I'm sitting there. I was there to show my miniatures. And he gets up in front and he starts saying, yeah, my name is Buddy Fair and I'm here. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, holy shit, he's really doing it. I was like, I couldn't believe it, my own cousin. But he went up there and he told everybody his full name. And I said, what, this is AA, right? I said to him, he says, yeah, I'm not into the anonymity shit. He's telling me. I was like, oh.
Well, I was born and bred to be an alcoholic. My dad and my grandfather, they were alcoholics. On the way home from the hospital when I was born, my mom and dad put whiskey in my mouth. Let's get them started early, right? There's a picture of all three of me and my two siblings all holding one of my dad's beers. You know, we started early. Well, I had my first blackout at 15. I was a full-blown alcoholic at 19, and I quit drinking at 28.
Wow.
Well, can I say
so
something
young.
though? To stop drinking after all that is quite an accomplishment, I must say. I mean,
Yeah.
I
did a lot of that. Sadly younger, and like I don't know why, but like it, like people think that it's like more classy when it's wine.
Yeah, it's
But,
true.
like,
They act like, oh yeah, that's different. It's wine.
I like had my
just
I got
fine.
blackout drunk for the first time when I was like 9 or 10.
Damn.
I like, yeah. I never woke up in jail, but yeah, I quit drinking when I was 19. I spent my 20th birthday in rehab.
I spent one birthday in rehab. The other one was my kid's birthday, unfortunately.
Off the deep end. Now, I was again from a family that basically tolerated alcohol. There was a joke in my family where they would say about like Uncle Bob, and they would say which Uncle Bob, and they would say drunk Uncle Bob, and they'd say which drunk Uncle Bob. Right? Like that was like that doesn't narrow it down any. I hope
did
he
we
comes
lose
back.
Let's Farm? We lost
Yeah.
Let's Farm.
Oh
Looks like
no,
he
let's
dropped-
farm, come back.
You got devices not connected. Let's farm. So you need to connect a microphone and a camera, and then I can
Oh,
add you back.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, that our family was there. You are. That was how our family was just fucking drunks, and
Sorry.
you're fine. I basically kind of latched onto that, and I went through some trauma as a teenager and started doing just like a shit ton of drugs too. And by the time I was, like I said, by the time I was 19, I ended up in jail from being a crazy party kid, basically. I remember getting in my car and like telling people to like shut the fuck up so that I could see, right? Like that kind of shit. I remember vomiting down the side of like a police cruiser and then getting in my car to drive people home. Like this, I look back, I was a terrible person. I was a fucking terrible person.
I drove my Jeep off into a foundation of an old train depot.
Like I am glad that I got like in many ways I am glad that I got arrested and I had somebody to be like, hey, yo, like you need to like wake the fuck up. Like I hit my rock bottom, right?
I'm sorry I laughed. I mean, that's serious shit right there. He's driving his car off the end of
a torn down train depot. I drove right into the foundation of it. It dropped like 3 feet.
That's
you're
not
lucky
good.
to break your fucking legs.
What do they say that the alcoholics and children are protected or something?
That's true.
Well, yeah, they used to
we
say
used
that God watches out for drunks.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you don't stiffen up. So like one of the things like when they teach you with skating is to loosen up a little bit. When you fall, you roll. And the mistake when someone skates for the first time, I used to skate a lot. I don't anymore. But the mistake when people skate, like they put their hand out. Exactly. Show them again. They put their hand out. Oh no, wrist broken. Good luck.
Yeah, break your wrist real quick.
Yeah, I guess if you're all
That drunk will just fall on their face.
liquored up, you're kind of loose, right?
Okay, yes, to be fair, Aunt JR, it does not take a shit ton of liquor to get blackout drunk when you're 9. But also, my family was letting me get blackout drunk at 9.
Like, it wasn't that you snuck and did it. Like,
No.
like everybody in the 80s had like an uncle that left some beer around, and you were like, cool, and you just drank the dribble. I've done that before, but like they just were like, here's some wine, party on.
I don't know. I was in the service in the 80s.
Cackle.
But I drank alcoholically. I don't know how else to describe it.
I went to Italy as a 12-year-old and went to wine tasting.
Wait, that's not funny.
Well, that was my first trip to rehab, Sam, when I was in the Navy. Wasn't even my
really?
Was not even my fault. I was not even drunk yet. I had, I don't know, 3-4 drinks. I may have had a light buzz, but I wasn't drunk. And this other guy in the E Club decided he wanted to start a fight with me, and I wasn't in the mood for it, so I fought back. So we had an alcohol-related incident, and that's automatic rehab when you're in the military.
I never got involved in any of that in the military.
Is it like actual rehab, or is it like 12 steps rehab?
42 days of rehab, and it was pretty intense. It was in Florida. I got to go to St. Augustine. That was cool. But
was it real rehab though? Like, was it like where you get therapy and shit?
Oh yeah.
Do they count that as lost time, or do they
Nope.
not? No?
Nope. I had orders to go there.
I guess they, wow.
You get paid?
Yeah, I got paid while I was there.
Cool.
I guess if you run into that, that's what you're going to meet.
It was only supposed to be 28 days, Ella, and it got, because I wasn't taking it seriously while I was there, I got extended for 14.
So Lano69's comment is in the chat, and it won't show up on this chat. I think that it's like thinking that you're like spam. So I can't show it, but it says my first word was beer because my parents trained me to fetch them beers when I was a child.
Oh boy.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like it's generational.
Oh yeah. I always considered that my father invented the remote control for the TV. He'd be like, he called me Hoss. He'd be like, Hoss, put TV on 13. Oh, and while you up, get me a beer.
I too was the human remote control.
Human remote control.
That.
Click.
I didn't have a TV growing up. Didn't have a TV in the house. My parents were drinkers, but they didn't drink they drank on occasion.
See, here's the funny thing. My dad didn't drink. But he had this idea that like if he let us drink as kids, then like we would be accustomed to it and we wouldn't become alcoholics like his dad was.
Well, they drank. My father, but he didn't drink beer. Like he didn't come home with beer or nothing like that. It was just like wine and liquor.
So in my family, my dad was a drinker, and he was a drinker. He was terrible. But my mom was anti-drinker. So there was like a tug and pull of like the devil and the angel. No, drinking makes Jesus sad. And then glug, glug, glug. But like I never really took my dad as like a moral compass at all. In fact, don't be like him and he's terrible. And so I really felt strongly like I shouldn't drink. So for the most part, I didn't. Every so often I got in a little bit of trouble, but for the most part I didn't. But I guess I was high on Jesus because I went like full hardcore, like oh yeah, like into everything that was like extra holy roller. I was really holy roller back then.
Oh yeah.
But I did get into trouble occasionally. Sorry. Like here's an example. I almost got arrested because me and my friends at 19 went rock climbing, but we were rock climbing in Otay Mesa, which is really close to the border, and it's not officially allowed to rock climb there. But we were like, nah, we're gonna rock climb. And so we were rock climbing Otay Mesa, which you have to climb down into a canyon and you climb up and use the rocks there, right? Well, dun dun dun, the police officer and the border patrol both pulled up, and they were deciding if they wanted to arrest us or not. And then like they had us in handcuffs, which was really dramatic, but they said they were detaining us, so we didn't officially get arrested, and they decided to just send us home.
Did your dad drink and drive, Spackle?
Drink and drive.
I don't don't remember that, but I can tell you there were some scary driving instances, but I don't remember him intoxicated.
As a very small child, well, yeah, my dad never seemed intoxicated, but he'd have 3 cups of coffee in the morning and drink beer from that point on the whole rest of the day. He'd go to work like that. He'd drive like that. And as a little small child, I used to think that everybody's dad drank beer when they drove, because my dad did, and it was my job to get the empties and hand him a fresh one from the back. That was my job.
I live in a state with no.
I get it.
We don't have an open container law here. So, yeah.
I was with my dad once when he got pulled over, sort of. The cop just happened to see. My dad wasn't driving at the moment. He was just in the car, and the cop pulled up, and he said, "Now, I know you've been drinking, and I want you to drive straight home, because if I see you out here again tonight, I'm going to take your ass to jail." This in the 70s.
They used to say that fucking shit. Now, to be fair, in the 70s was when they first had laws against drinking and driving. And people were fucking pissed. In America, they were like, what do you mean I can't drink and drive?
I can't have a beer while I'm driving? What the hell's the point of driving then?
What do you mean?
I saw videos about that, like old newsreels, and they were like mad about it. I remember that.
They were like, what do you mean? I'm an American. Like, it's a goddamn American right to have a beer. What do you mean I can't have a beer and drive?
In the 80s, it was seatbelts. They were complaining about seatbelts, and they're like, "This is my freedom,
my freedom."
I live in a state that has a mandatory seatbelt law, but no mandatory helmet law on motorcycles.
That sounds like Arizona.
We have a seatbelt law. I think we do. Well, I do remember it's like a weirdly lax seatbelt law, so like it only counts in like cars, but not station wagons and like that kind of shit.
It's all the cowboy
we don't have a
states that
helmet
do
law,
that.
and we don't have there's a lot of shit that's like we don't have an open container law.
Well, I'm an avid bicycle rider, and I live in Arizona, and there is no helmet law, but I always wear a helmet anyway.
Good, because you're smart.
Because
you know, we call people who
Arizona's
don't wear.
wild, man.
You know what we call people who don't wear a helmet here?
What?
Organ donors.
Well, you all are familiar with R and Ra, right? He says that the surest way to not end up in a nursing home is to ride a motorcycle without a helmet.
Oh.
Yeah, then you just end up being an organ donor. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm in California, so we're next door to Arizona. So it's like very common for Arizonans and Californians to visit each other. You know, that's not an uncommon thing.
Do you guys love each other?
We do. Like I love Zonies. They're okay.
I'm the only one in the Northeast.
What's
I'm
that?
from New York originally.
Well, I'm the only one currently in the Northeast.
Oh, that's too cold for me. But good luck.
In the Midwest. Yeah.
But
coldest temp we got hit with this winter, and I'm pretty sure we won't get anything colder for the rest of the year, was minus 26. Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
The lowest temperature I've been in my entire life is 20 degrees, and that was when I went to the Sierra Nevadas. I haven't been lower than that.
But you Arizonans, like Sam there, you get them high temperatures. I mean, the highest temperature I've ever been exposed to was only once, and it was in Kentucky in 1987. It got to like 111 degrees, and I was like, no, I'm melting.
Last year, it was like the highest we got here was like 123, 22.
No.
Brutal.
No.
It's like Mojave Desert.
I would put a kid swimming pool in my living room, and I'd put ice water in it, and I'd lay in that with a cold drink and a fan, and I wouldn't move at 123.
But they have a dry heat. It's still a brutal dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
But
yeah, well, an oven's dry heat too.
You can sweat and have it evaporate, but you're going to dehydrate really quickly because you're going to be doing a lot of it.
Yeah, the humidity where I live is a killer.
Yeah.
Well, I spent time in the Mojave Desert with the Army.
I've been in the Mojave Desert with the Navy.
Oh, you were?
In China Lake, yeah.
Did you bombard the area?
Oh, yeah, we blew shit up. It was fun.
That is a fun thing to do in the desert. I am from actually another place where they like to blow shit up near Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh,
in the Midwest. where it gets like fucking okay, so it doesn't get like 120, but it does get like I think it got like 105 last year. And it doesn't get like -20, but I think that it did get like -5 like earlier this year.
That's pretty cool. So you were
Too
No.
cold to live.
so let's farm. You supported the National Training Center?
I went to the Naval Weapons Test Center there out in China Lake.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a different
Biggest,
place.
Now
biggest, loudest sound I ever heard in my life.
is
I'm
the
sure,
Navy or
Yeah.
is the military a cult?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I have family
Yeah,
members
they
who are
break
Navy,
you and
but
rebuild you. But is the military a necessary cult? I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I know people just, I mean, if you serve a very long time in the military, it's kind of like doing a very long time in jail. You just become institutionalized.
Yeah.
That's why so many vets, when they
Love
well,
it, Andrew.
besides PTSD, but when you have 20 years in a regimented work environment, and now you're retired, and maybe you want to work after, but you're like, man, this is so different. Like, it's got to be shocking to leave, the military.
Oh, yeah.
To a point. I mean, after you've done your training, you go to a duty station, and you take up your regular job. It's the same shit all the
It's
time.
a job. Yeah, exactly.
And
Well,
you're
okay,
meeting the
so-
same people. Yeah, huh?
Does that disqualify it as a cult though? Because like you can leave anytime and sometimes they'll even fucking kick you out, actually, right?
You can't
Right.
just up and
You
leave.
can't just leave, though.
You have to.
I-
You have to give a good argument for leaving.
Or be a good faker.
But well, if you like get to the end of your time, you could just not sign up for more time.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Right.
They,
Yeah.
Well, they offered me. I was going to be a career guy, but after 6 years, I said to myself, man, the same shit over and over, the same problems, the same thing, nothing ever changed. I said, no way, I'm not signing the papers. Goodbye. My time was up, and I left. That's it.
That's all. You
That's
were
it.
like, I'm not signing.
Yep.
No,
same
they
here.
offered me the papers, and they even offered me a bonus.
Same.
See, and I feel like in some ways that kind of maybe disqualifies it as a cult.
Well, I was being paid, and I had time off. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted when I wasn't on duty.
Here's my
AA, I was
military
getting paid.
concern.
I
So,
gave
like,
them so much of my time and did not get a penny.
But there is a cultiness to it.
Yes.
It's just
Okay.
different. It's just a little different.
well, they
Maybe some
actively
cult.
desensitize you to certain things, right? Which you have to be in order to kill somebody. It's been proven that psychologically, for you to be okay, unless you're a psychopath, is because psychopaths
Which means
would
you're
have
not
fun.
okay.
Is that we have to look at the other human being as other, that they're like, and the feeling of disgust, and you're other, you're not actually a person. If you can depersonalize people, then you can get to the point where you can kill them. And that's really interesting, because I wonder what it's like after service, right? Like, I wonder. And then the other concern I have about the military is, and I had family in the Navy. That's how I ended up in San Diego. But the other concern I have about the military is, we train the soldiers to overcome. You adapt and overcome constantly, right? But then they get out of service and they do need help. They might be partially disabled, or they might have like some mental health issues. And so many service members are reluctant to get the help they need, and it takes them a while to get there because they're adapt, overcome,
Well, that's why they have that commercial now that says, he went and did this, but the best thing he ever did was when he asked for help for veterans. And I mean, I go to the VA myself, so I see a lot of them. I've had people in my life that were wartime veterans, and you could tell they were not the same people that went to war.
How could you be, right?
They come back different.
There was an old movie in the 1940s, and it was called, well, maybe it would have been the 50s by the time it came out, because it was post World War II, but it was about World War II veterans returning, and they didn't have PTSD as a name. They called it shell shock.
Shell shock.
Like that. and they approached it, and it was called The Best Years of Our Lives, and they had it was probably, I mean, like with all the propaganda movies and stuff like that, World War II, and then to move into like what is it like for a soldier after they return, and they were having problems in their marriage, and one guy had no arms, and like he couldn't seem to like cope with that, and these are like pretty terrible things to deal with, and I will say that that was a fairly cutting edge movie for its time, because it was like, wow, like it is hard to serve and then come back. It is a really serious thing.
Yeah.
I would think so. Like
It's
my father and my uncle were both in World War II, both in the South Pacific. So
well, they say like even people who are like in the Peace Corps will feel like transition stress upon reentry into the US, right? So even just doing that is already stressful enough, plus all of the other shit they have to go through, the psychological shit, to be in the mindset of like somebody is trying to fucking kill me. I need to kill them before they kill me. For all that time is just yeah.
Well,
yeah,
this whole thing is like in the military, waking up in the morning, going out and running, keeping the PT up, doing the PT every week or whatever it was. That I didn't stop when I got out of the service. I was still doing that, and it took me almost a year to stop all the running and all the exercising that I was just imposing on myself for no real reason. Until one day I said, why the fuck am I getting up at 4 a.m. and running 5 miles? What's the reason?
Yeah, why not get up at 8 and run 1 mile?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not saying like, yeah, like
I
What's the
did the
point?
same. I did the same for a while.
yeah, make it adjust it to what's good for you.
I was still living the army life as a civilian, and I'm like, I'm wasting my time. What am I doing?
Yeah.
It took me a long time, almost a year, to get over that. Once I got out, that waking up early and going and doing shit, and then
And I do think that's so there's what is the two gyms here? I'm trying to remember. There was like a whole rivalry for a while because but it's the ones where they have like the competition gyms. Oh God, why is the
gym.
name? It's literally athletics where people go and have like to these gyms and compete in these things. And a lot of the people who do it are ex-military. And that's why I think that it's like because they get out of the military and they have to do something with that energy or they have to focus it towards something, right? And oh gosh, what is the name of it?
Well, it was there were standards.
CrossFit.
What?
That's the name of
Yeah,
it.
CrossFit. Yeah, they have competitions.
Of course.
Yeah, it's fucking competitive as fuck.
CrossFit.
And I think that a lot of people like because there is a fucking high percentage of people who are fucking military and ex-military who are in CrossFit. And I think it's kind of what you were saying about like you got like
I guess they're high energy people.
yeah.
Right?
And they're
Just in
accustomed
general.
to, having a high level of fitness training.
Well, I was like that until I became disabled. I was a very high energy person, but I became disabled.
Do you ever stumble into strange algorithms? I do. Right now, my current strange algorithm is I'm not a dancer, but I'm in a dancing algorithm where I see a lot of people dancing, and it's kind of fun, and I watch it, and because I watched one, I have to watch 20 now, right? But there was a time where somehow I ended up in the CrossFit algorithm, and I keep watching it, going, "Damn, that lady's Xena! Whoa, she just lifted a giant tree! Whoa!"
Xena,
warrior princess. Sorry, you were talking about this.
I got caught up in this one thing where this guy was giving money away to people who were needy. I don't know. There's a lot of people.
Scammy.
Yeah, he's going to state fairs and finding and watching the booths and then going up to people who had no customers and buying all their merch. It's like, huh? That's what he was doing. I've
seen videos like that, and they seem a little, possibly staged, or B, like possibly just like exploity, where it's like, oh, I feel bad for this person. Let me show them on camera. Here's the like sticks the camera in their face. Like, look at how sad they are.
Yeah. It's like
Look at this, or like, look at this sad homeless person that I'm helping.
it's like an appeal to emotions. The whole video is like an appeal to, oh, I'm so sad for this guy. He's such a good guy giving all that money away.
Yeah.
But
that guy who actually wanted to like sell his merch to like customers who like appreciated it. Sorry.
But I know what you mean. I was just relating to being caught in some algorithm.
I got caught up in a Guitaro 5000 algorithm. And well, the guy's really good. He goes out, he sets up cameras, he plays guitar, and he invites people to sing with him.
I'm saying if we get caught in that, that's not too bad.
It's fun to watch.
But if you just click on something randomly and it just keeps feeding it back to you, it's like, come on, man, enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
I had for a while, there was like one particular cheerleader doing like one particular dance that I think that it was like, I like set my phone down because I like got distracted in the middle of something, but it like played 5 times and the algorithm decided that I really liked that.
Oh, that kills me when it does that. The one thing,
every 20th video or whatever.
Those what do they call those skin doctors? That
Dermatologist.
Don't ever click on dermatologist.
Oh no, they're gonna show you things that you never knew you could pop.
I don't want to see.
I clicked on one Eddie Hall.
Things getting extruded from anywhere. Thank you.
I clicked on one Eddie Hall video, World's Strongest Man thing. Right now, I get all kinds of weightlifting stuff.
Yeah, big muscle dudes and stuff.
Oh,
now
he's not a muscle guy. He looks like a tank.
I know who Eddie Hall is. I know
he's a monster.
He's the strongest.
He's not
man
a
in the
bodybuilder.
world.
He's a strong man. Yeah,
he's a strong man.
Difference between strong man and bodybuilder.
He's actually the strongest, one of the strongest men in the world. Right?
Oh yes, he is.
Oh, is he like pulling like semi trucks behind him and stuff?
No, he. I think he has the world record deadlift though right now.
Oh wow.
He's like picking up heavy shit,
like 3/4 of a ton or something like that. It was a
Brit,
lot,
right? He's a Brit.
He's like picking up shit that is equivalent to the size or to the weight of a semi truck, probably.
Yeah, he'll pick up a truck. He doesn't pull them. Will you hurry up and change that damn tire?
I'm trying to pull these like heavy trucks and stuff. I was like, oh,
those are like the spectacle like competitions, strongman.
Yeah. So the algorithm I'm in for dancing is 2. One is the shuffle dancing, but the other one is pretty fun, and I almost want to try it and learn. I almost want to go to a class and learn. It's called West Coast Swing, and it's like kind of like, it looks a little bit like swing dancing and a little bit like salsa, and it looks really fun. But there's these competitions where people that are dancers get together and they do this West Coast swing dance. They randomize music. It could be anything. It could be the Macarena even, or something else. You get this unplanned music that you have to dance to with a partner that you don't typically dance with either, because it's a drawing. And you guys have to ad-lib the dance. And some people are just so good at it. And you can even see sometimes where like the guy or the girl's a better dancer, but they realize that the other partner isn't. So they will adjust for that other partner. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think they call that improv.
Yep. It's like improv dancing.
Yeah.
I have a dancer. Do you have to go?
Not right this second, but here pretty soon though.
We all have to go in 15 minutes.
We all have to go in 15.
Closing time.
But I have this. Closing time soon. I have these shorts. I don't watch shorts a lot, but this is one lady. She dances. She just comes and does like a little ditty, and she's like this blonde-haired lady. Nothing really extraordinary about the way she looks, but it's just. She comes up and she just stands there, and then she does this little dance, and then that's it. It's only a few seconds. I don't know why I find that intriguing, just because there's not much to it. Does that make any sense?
I'm going to have to find out.
That's how TikTok was born.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna have
TikTok
to find that
was
South
born from
African lady
Vines.
that just dances, and she says people like to laugh at the way she dances, but it makes her feel good, so she doesn't care.
Hey, that works for me.
That's right. Do
If
what
it makes
what
her
do
happy
what
and makes her money, then like
exactly. If it makes you happy, have
I
at
enjoy
it.
it.
As long as you're not hurting anyone else, have at it.
I'm enjoying it.
I think I'm a little jealous of dancers. I think it's really cool and pretty, and I think it's really romantic. And I'm not a dancer.
I'm
Well,
not a dancer either.
When
I
I
have
was
this
young,
theory.
I wanted to dance. When I was young, I wanted to be a dancer. I was discouraged from it.
I have a theory that everybody likes to dance.
Yeah.
It's just that some people, it's more like how we play video games, and it's like
No, man.
only when we're like alone and in our underwear.
I was going to go the whole route. I was going to go to the schools and become a dancer. I'm telling you.
I think
But
everybody likes to dance though,
my
whether
father,
you're a dancer or not. I think
my
everyone.
father discouraged me against it.
Well,
So,
your dad was a
wait,
little bit of a
your dad didn't like Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire and
Yeah, Gene Kelly's a very masculine dancer,
oh
and
my
he's
God,
one of my
yes,
favorites.
He
and
was
an
like,
amazing dancer.
he's like, you need a job. You need a job. The dancing isn't a job. You know, that's
so it was more practical.
yeah, and it steered me toward the military, and that's what I did.
Dancing in the military, you choose. Well, Gene Kelly was in Anchors Away.
I wish I would have thought of that. I would have been a dancer in the military. Now that would have worked.
He was
But
also
I mean,
in
you could have been a
Thousands
dancer in the
Tears.
military.
Well,
Thousands Tears, I think he was Army.
I kind of
Well,
wish the Navy band had a guitarist.
see that?
I could have
They
been the
wanted me to
Navy
play the bass
guitarist.
in the military, and I was like, seriously, you want me to play bass? Like on a submarine?
Oh, being in a submarine would be kind of tough.
Well,
Aircraft
what
carrier
else?
looks awesome.
I'm scared to death of fucking submarines. I'm sorry
Family's
for this,
Navy,
but
so.
I was on 2 different aircraft carriers, and they're actually well, the Forrestal was falling apart because it was its retirement, but I got to go on the USS Abraham Lincoln, and it was brand new. Man,
Nice.
that was sweet. It still had the new boat smell.
And then both smell.
In San Diego, we have parked in our harbor the Midway. And even the Midway, which is not the largest carrier, feels so huge. Like, it's amazing.
It's a long ways down to the water from the deck.
Well, they have. I lived in New York City, and they had all these naval displays down on the west side, off the West Side Highway in Manhattan. You could go and just walk onto a carrier or whatever military. They would pull them up. They would pull up and park, and whatever was there, you could go on it and look.
That's fucking awesome.
New York was great.
There was one when I went out to like I don't remember where I was. I was so young. But yeah, I went out to like the East Coast. It might have been New York. And there was
You were in New
wasn't-
York in the
It
city,
might have been. I mean I went to New York when I was a kid.
Manhattan.
I only went there once.
Yeah.
It was the year, what is it, 78 or 79, I think, that the World Trade Centers were finished.
Oh,
We were going to go up in them, but there was no way we were getting in there that day. So instead, we went to Statue of Liberty. That was pretty cool, too. I did enjoy that.
I was in the World Trade Center. I went all the way up to the observation deck as a kid, and then as an adult, I worked there.
Wow.
When I got out of the military, my first job was like a messenger. I was a messenger for a brokerage firm that worked out of the World Trade Center.
Wow.
10-minute warning.
I like the island of Manhattan.
I love New York.
So
Love it.
I'm very grateful that my grandmother took me traveling when I was a little kid. I was talking to Spackle about this like not that long ago. That like so my family took me on like family vacations when I was very young, and I used to get very sick every year, and I would get stomach ulcers. I was like a small child, and then my grandmother just started like whisking me away and taking me away to places while my family would go on family vacation without me. And I'm very grateful that she did that for a lot of reasons, but there's also like a lot of me that's like, kind of like mad at like my 9, 10, 11-year-old self that I wasn't more like observant and a better student of to like hang on to those memories, right? To recognize that this is a once in a lifetime kind of experience type thing. And yeah.
I have something similar because as a kid, I was brought to Norway by my parents, and each time I had it was traumatic for me.
You're
We
like, you
went.
don't want to be here.
I didn't want to. I don't want to go to see the fjords. As a little kid, I was frightened to death, and they took me on a tour to look at the fjords with the rest of my family and everybody.
It does sound a little bit terrifying, yeah.
I was terrified the whole way.
When I was a kid, we went to a lot of national parks, which I love nature, and um, typically we'd go to Sequoia quite a lot. And so if you've ever been to Sequoia, it will make you feel like a little, even when you're a grown person, you will feel like a little wood sprout around these giant trees. And I love it. It's so good.
I could imagine.
My first trip that was memorable as a child was when my parents took me and my cousin to Niagara Falls. And we went into Canada. We went to a wax museum that was really cool. That was, to us, that was more, we're little kids, little boys. Those wax museum figures were more impressive than the falls. Like,
yeah.
oh.
Okay, I went to Niagara Falls not that long ago, and I went to probably the same fucking wax museum. And those are fucking really impressive still.
They are
to
cool,
me,
right? Come on. They are really fucking cool.
Me and my ex-spouse went.
I've-
Like I said,
I've-
probably it looks like it's been there for a long time. It's probably the same place. Yeah.
I drove by the falls, never saw them though.
Well, what did I do? my wife had to fly out of Buffalo, New York. So I took the boys with me, and we took her to the airport. We went to Niagara Falls.
Nice. I really wanted, everybody said to see the Canadian side, but the traffic was really bad that day. We were just driving through to like pick something up. It wasn't even like a thing, but yeah.
Well,
we did stop at the wax museum.
Well, you know, I was born and raised in New York, one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Never once did I visit the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, you should go, Sam.
I saw it across the way. I don't think I went. Yeah.
I've been up to her crown. I've been up to her crown. It is just, first off, you can't go up there anymore. At least last I knew. But first off, be prepared for that stairway, because they are the stairs going up. Oh yeah.
How many floors is it?
I don't know. It's like 300. It's a lot of steps, man. And there's platforms where you can get off it for a while, because some people get dizzy going up it.
I have pretty good cardio.
Well, I was
need it for that shit.
When I went, I think I was 11, so no problem getting up there.
I hiked Morro Rock when I was a kid, and that's not as big as like Half Dome or anything, but like it's scary. Like if you misstep, you can fall and die, which is really weird. But they trusted me as a kid to go up there with my brother, who was not much older than me. And so we went up Morro Rock. They're like, okay, well, if you feel like you're up to it. And I was like, cool. And we went up it, and I was like, and then we were looking down at the road, and the road looked like a tiny little worm. That's how high we were. And our mom decided that she trusted us and said, if there's a storm, get down as soon as you can, because you get struck by lightning. And I was like, okay. And so we just chugged up there. And I look back at it and go, I don't think I would let my kid do that. Like as an adult, it's scary.
There's so much shit that my parents let me do where I like look back on it now. I'm like, holy shit. Now this isn't one of them, but this is something that I was thinking of before you said that. Was St. Louis City Museum. I believe it's 12 stories to the roof. And my parents would do this thing when we were kids where they would buy us tickets to the roof. Also, the roof is like a separate, like you have to pay an extra $5 to get on the roof. There's like extra fun stuff up there. So we, of course, wanted to do that shit first. And then my parents would tell us that there was no elevator, that the elevator was only for disabled people.
Wait, I got triggered. I gotta sing this. Steve McRae is a punk ass motherfucker. Steve McRae is a sorry son of a bitch. You triggered me. Sorry, Lona. Anyway, continue.
Okay, it's fine.
I have a
wanted to know maybe
joke
for Steve McRae.
about Steve McRae.
He was
But
my
yeah,
first
They
internet
would have us
argument.
run up 12 flights of stairs. And I always just assumed that it was like, oh, well, they're just like, right behind us or whatever. And I'm sure that they just fucking like waited a little bit and then took the elevator.
I heard someone once said Steve McRae came on screen and the guy typed it was something like Steve McRae looks like he used his hair to clean up an oil spill. I thought that was very apropos at the time.
I used to be a moderator at Non Sequitur, but not because of Steve, but because of Booleanator, right? And I got in an argument with Steve one night that I didn't even.
Yes, I was once one of Steve's moderators.
Was it this Steve McRae?
There's
that's
Steve
my favorite
McRae,
Steve
the
McRae.
ice skater. Yeah.
Well, he said I didn't know what an agnostic was.
Yes, because
Really?
he's the one that always wants to pick and choose who understands what truly is an agnostic versus an atheist.
Exactly. He
No,
said,
you're
well,
fine. You said it. Like you
He's
said
the
not to
arbiter?
put it up, but I did anyway.
He's the arbiter. I don't think Steve McRae is the arbiter of anything.
Yep, he's the arbiter.
No.
So
McRae.
before
Son.
Exile died, we had poor Exile had passed away, but before she did, Steve had called us in an argument, the Arbiters of Chaos. So we were going to do a show together, and our channel was called the Arbiter of Chaos. And so, like, I do have a Discord that's still called that, which is funny, but yeah.
Wow.
And then it is AOC, and people are like, AOC. I'm like, no, the Arbiters of Chaos.
That's funny.
yeah, I miss Bull. He was a fun guy. Had a
They
weird sense of
really
humor, man,
worked
but
him
he was
hard.
fun.
Well,
They worked him hard. It's funny, he's still on my Steam friend list, even though he got
I'm
mad
still
at me.
in his Discord.
oh, he still has a Discord, eh?
I'm still in it. Yeah. Bull's Discord's
if
still
you're
up.
still in it. If you're still in it. I have a Discord channel, but it's not active. I don't do anything. Nothing goes on there. So, yeah, join if you like.
Yeah, my Discord's kind of dead.
I have one that's starting to pick up, but it's got a very narrow focus.
Well, it's up to me. It's my place.
Well, does anybody have stuff that they want to plug real quick before we go? It is
Oh, no,
getting to be time.
not yet. Soon, though.
Well, I think if
Come
you're
back next
interested,
week.
if someone's interested, like they're starting out and they need an intro or an outro or some still images or something, icons, whatever, just to help them out to start out, I'm there for you.
Yeah, Sam did. He did ones for when I was running Let's Debate. They were really nice. We used them for every show.
Well, thanks for
Just
that
quality
plug.
work.
Yeah, anybody, just you hit me up and I'll send you something.
Thank you.
It's simple
Yeah,
as that.
thank you.
I'm gonna actually plug somebody else's channel. I do have a channel, but like I'm hit and miss with streams right now, but I'm gonna get a little bit better. But I'm gonna plug Christopher Mowdy's channel
I love
because for the work that he puts in, he's not getting enough views, in my opinion. So if you could share and like his channel, that'd be awesome. He's tackling from a psychological standpoint things like race
Social
realism,
Darwin.
meritocracy, social Darwinism, all these sort of things that are insidious, and they are scholarly racism hiding behind the guise of science. And so yeah.
That the bell curve. That's a big focus of his right now.
Yeah, the bell curve, the IQ tests.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how deep that went until I knew it went a little bit that way, but I didn't know how bad it was.
You know, I find I'm watching Mowdy's stuff after the fact. I'm never really catching it when it's live for some reason. And I'm a member of the channel. I don't understand what's going on with the algorithm.
Yeah, I'm not getting
goes
all my
live at weird
notifications
times.
either.
Same
Some of
place.
it's his timing.
he's got very good like he's got good ideas. There's a lot of shit that he's got going in his favor. There's a couple been little like hiccups along the way, but I think he'll get things smoothed out.
I first started watching some of his bass videos. I tried to play along with my guitar, like just try to play along with his bass lines, and I'm like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah, he's hard to play with. I play bass, but I'm not good at funk, and he likes that funk.
And he's his tuning is weird on his, at least some of his basses, I know. So that makes
a lot
it a
of his
little harder.
basses aren't 4-string.
Yeah,
there's more.
I know. Well, I got a 7-string guitar too. I watched. He is a tough player to follow.
I used to play guitar. I don't play anymore because of neuropathy. I can't feel my fingertips.
Oh, that's tough.
I can't feel the pressure, so everything sounds like garbage. And
well, I will thank science for Humira, because for about a year I lost the ability to play my guitar due to rheumatoid arthritis.
Ooh.
But Humira gave me my hands back.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That's good.
I still pins and needles all the time in my hands and my feet from the
Neuroma's tough.
neuropathy.
Neuropathy, I mean, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna plug somebody else's channel, actually.
Yeah, plug.
So this guy he went through, I think some of you guys have seen the video where I reacted to his video with Sobriety Bestie, where he talked about going through Narcotics Anonymous, how damn near fucking killed him. And this is his channel. I think he's got like less than a few dozen followers, but like do go follow him if you're interested in that type of content. But he's talking about like basically finding himself as a person and like recovering from the 12 steps. It's an interesting journey that he's been on. And yeah, I just like to be able to support other people. So that's in the comments. And
well, heck, for doing that, then let me plug the Kentucky Atheist, especially his politicality show. The show that Joe and Lil do is fun and educational.
So yeah, and I'll probably, if you guys want to send me those links, I can stick them in the pinned comment whenever I post this.
Okie dokie.
We'll do that. All right. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate y'all so much. You guys
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you.
I can do that. Thanks for having me.
As always.
And we'll see y'all next week. If you're welcome back next week, everybody, please come again.
All right.